And so when I say Chinese, I want you to scream out the nation that's associated with this. For example, if I say Chinese, you're going to say what?
China.
All right, let's say it with authority. When I say Chinese, you say what? China. All right, that's just a test right there. So here we go. Chinese.
China.
Russian.
Russia.
Italian.
Italy.
German.
Germany.
Swedish.
Sweden.
Korean.
Korea.
Egyptian.
Egypt.
Nigerian.
Nigeria.
Black.
Exactly. Nothing. Tell him, Pastor. Tell him, Pastor. Black, nothing.
I hope you were able to successfully identify the issue.
The lion won't sleep tonight. 'Cause we woke now, and we woke now. I said the lion won't sleep tonight. 'Cause we woke now, and we woke now. They want us to sell our souls to barter profit. Like God's property, it's hard to market. So we steady to aim, keep your eyes on target. Cause when you got to drive, yeah, they'd rather you park it. But I don't valet, you ain't getting these keys. I'm keeping closed hands, I'm on bended knee. I'm just a reflection, dealing with 8 sections. Art mixed with life, you can feel the convection. Your lion won't sleep tonight. 'Cause we woke now, and we woke now. I said the lion won't sleep tonight. 'Cause we woke now, and we woke now.
The same people that have stripped us of our identity and labeled us as a color have told us what it means to be black.
You know what you are? You're an ancient Israelite.
Ancient is there. That's who we are. That's who we are. So if you give me time, if you give me time, all that he said.
No, we don't have.
So many years.
I know. Look at this. This is pages and pages of
Yes.
notes. And I promise we'll give more teaching. But here is my challenge to you.
All right.
I'm hearing some of your traditions. It's like the days of the Bible.
Yes.
Do you want to remain ancient Israelites, or you want to be Jews? Do you want to remain ancient Israelites, or you want to be Jews? Do you want?
The same people that have stripped us of our identity and labeled us as a color have told us what it means to be black.
I'm so glad you're here because you can bring great clarity. Can you tell us a little bit about the Sephardic Jews and how they were scattered because they went west?
I sure can.
Because the reason why I want to is because a lot of them, and a lot of people don't know this, are in the Caribbean.
They are.
In the islands.
And you're one of them. I know that.
I'm one of them.
I know that.
Because, a lot of folk don't know that those roots are there. One of the first batches of slaves that came to Jamaica, they were the Sephardic Jews. It's documented.
And they're all over the Caribbean,
all over the Caribbean,
South America, Central America, and even the South Central United States.
Wow.
And DNA testing is a factor in all this now.
The same people that have stripped us of our identity and labeled us as a color have told us what it means to be black.
Why do you think that the U.S. is so quick to go help Israel fight against the Palestinians? Why? They know that the Jewish people in Israel are not the original people. Oh, no. They are definitely not. The original people are black people and people of color. So why did one lady, Judith Shore, she was an Israeli consul, say that the biggest threat in Israel is the younger black community? Why do they feel so threatened? Why? Because you know why? They know that the black people were the original chosen ones, the original ones that were there. The people over there now, they took over all that land, just like they're trying to take over all of Palestine. They have taken so much land from Palestine also. But watch what this lady says about the black community being Israel's biggest problem. The black community being Israel's biggest problem. The
major problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community. Black Lives Matter starts there. I had last week a dinner, sit-down dinner in my house with 40 people, which are considered the leadership of the black community.
I have said to people when they ask me if this capital crumbled to the ground, the one thing that would remain is our commitment to our aid. And I don't even call it aid, our cooperation with Israel. That's fundamental, our cooperation with Israel. That's fundamental, our cooperation.
Like, what? Did you just tell on yourselves that, you know, how y'all took slaves out of there back in the day and brought them, you know, and made them make America and all this? Because you took them from their original spot. And now they are trying to sit there and continue to take all the little bit of land that Palestine has. The U.S. is evil. The U.S. is evil, not the people in it, because I am from the U.S. But what I'm saying, all the ish is crazy. We have U.S. soldiers over there going to sit there and kill innocent kids, women, children, elderly men, everything in Palestine. But how did black people, all of a sudden, young black people, and the community of black people, all of a sudden become the problem to Israel? Please explain this to me. Is it because
the same people that have stripped us of our identity and labeled us as a color have told us what it means to be black?
So, a little over 1,000 years ago, as Jewish people scattered around the world had now emigrated in Europe and now were living in the Rhineland in Germany, they looked at the name Gomer in Genesis 10, and they connected Gomer with Germany, so they took on the identity of the name Ashkenaz. It has nothing to do with Ashkenaz in the Bible, which is a descendant of Japhet. It's just a name that was taken. Okay, it's that simple. Just like my last name Brown doesn't refer to the color of my skin or anything else. It was shortened from a Russian name when my grandfather came over at Ellis Island. The name got shortened to Brown. It's just a name. That's all it is. So the idea that Ashkenazi Jews are descended from Japhet is a myth, 100% false.
Now I can't figure it out. If y'all are the chosen ones, shouldn't y'all be obeying better than me? I mean, I even try to keep the fourth commandment. Try to keep the Sabbath day holy. I've spent many of hours trying to figure out which is the right Sabbath day, 'cause we know that old Catholic Church, something a little fishy about them, don't we? With that white Jesus. I mean, here's a white guy telling you black people that your Messiah is not a long-haired white European guy. Your Messiah is Hebrew, my darker-skinned brothers and sisters. When are you guys going to wake up and become kings and queens?
The same people that have stripped us of our identity and labeled us as a color have told us what it means to be black.
Most Egyptologists and anthropologists, archaeologists of the Eurocentric persuasion will say that Egypt is in Africa. They had to concede that, but then they still draw the line by saying that they weren't Africans like that. In other words, they weren't dark-skinned people. And of course, this is all part of the Great Deception. And the reality is that if they give up Egypt, ancient Kemet, if they give that up and say that that was a part of black Africa, then they will also have to give up Israel. And that's why they draw the line at Egypt, because if they give up Egypt, they've got to give up Israel.
Now, we're going to go over here, and I'm going to show you where Israel sits on the African tectonic plate, which means that Israel is northeast Africa. Now, when we look at this map, this is the Sinai, okay? This is the Red Sea. This is Egypt. This is the Sinai. This is Israel. All right, this is Saudi Arabia over here. Now, if you see this in Hebrew, it says Haluach Afrikani, the African plate. Here it is right here. Israel is sitting right here. Israel is sitting on the Haluach Afrikani, which means that Israel is northeast Africa.
Without question, we are in northeast Africa. We are landlocked to Egypt, with the exception of the Suez Canal, which was a man-made ditch, a boundary now between, in fact, it's not even really a boundary anymore since Egypt has reclaimed the Sinai Peninsula. But nevertheless, even those of us who are Pan-Africanists in our thinking and Afrocentric, we forget and we leave off that portion of northeast Africa and don't want to claim anything beyond that.
Europeans classified this area as a Middle East, you know, and then since this the Middle East, the other question, where the Middle West, where the Middle North, and where the Middle South? They don't have no geographical terms like that.
Wells comes face to face with the man he's been searching for. A new portrait of the common ancestor of every man today. Adam. Without the skull, we can't know for sure what Adam looked like. But a combination of genetic evidence, vendors' forensic skills, and cutting-edge computer software suggests he looked something like this. Thousands of years after the Bible, and hundreds of years after Michelangelo, we have a whole new face for Adam.
I was very excited when I first started to get evidence, and it was so counterintuitive. I'd put 20 Europeans and 20 African Americans on a sheet of X-ray film, and every African American showed differences, and all the Europeans looked the same. And I thought I'd mislabeled something, or I thought I'd made some drastic mistake. And we kept repeating and repeating things. And as we got more samples from different areas, I realized that it was a difference in the pattern, and that this whole new type of evidence based on mitochondria was going to change the way we thought about modern humans.
It just doesn't matter. 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 It just doesn't
Genesis chapter 11 verse 10 explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. If you repeat this fact, they can't laugh at you. If you repeat this fact, they can't laugh at you. If you repeat this fact, they can't laugh at you.
I want to say peace and blessings to everyone. Hope all is well with you guys. Let me adjust my mic here. Let me pull this camera over. There we go. I want to say peace and blessings to everyone. Hope all is well. Doing a Wednesday night, middle of the week Bible study with you guys. You know, I know we've been doing a lot of covering of Zionism and, things along that line, identity. But I still like to give some foundational teaching. And tonight I want to just address something that kind of like a pattern or something I started seeing trending among some of the rabbis who are against Zionism. Also, I start seeing some of that trend kind of bleed over or carry over to some of the comments within the videos. And so what I've been seeing is the comment that, or the notion that there is no chosen people. There is no chosen people. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed that or heard that, someone saying or people referring to or using this thought that there is no chosen people, that the Most High did not choose particular people to be chosen. But I heard a few rabbis who's against the Zionists. And I also, like I said, saw some of that bleeding over or carrying over into the comment sections of some of the videos, which I removed those comments. I think I left a few of them out there and responded to them. So I want to go ahead and deal with that. And to you guys that are watching, appreciate you guys for being here tonight. Thank you guys for the surge. I mean, I started this year off with the goal of wanting to reach 50,000 subscribers, and we're getting there. We've been surging, coming on strong towards over the past few weeks. So we've really been picking up in spite of. So, but anyway, if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the like and subscribe to the channel. And if you think that you are subscribed, double check, because what YouTube has been doing to many of the subscribers, been unsubscribing you without you knowing it. So double check. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed, double check. Make sure your notifications are selected. But nevertheless, I want to just get into this thought here, right? And before we get into it, I just want to say to you, family, I want to say this to you that are watching. There is something special about you, Judah. Let me say that again. There is something special about you, Judah. There's something special about you, Israel, as a whole. And when I say something special about you, Judah, that is not, minimizing or, separating or isolating us from the northern kingdom. And we know that the southern kingdom went into captivity later, in which consisted of Judah, the tribe, Benjamin, the tribe, and then later the Levitical priests, or the tribe of Levi. So, but I want to say this to you, family. There's something special about you, Israel. There's something special about you, the true 12 tribes that are scattered to the four corners of this earth. There's something special about you. There's a reason why we're seeing the turmoil. We're starting to get the hostility, suggesting that we should be able to or we should support, for example, the Jewish community as we know them, or we should support the Palestinians, or whatever the case may be, that we should take a side on one side or the other. Guess what, family? We don't have to take anyone's side. Hallelujah. As long as we're taking the side of Yah, right? We take the side of Yah. We take the side of Yahushai HaMashiach. We take the side of the Holy Spirit, which is the Spirit of Yah, the Rawak Yahweh. We're taking that side. Too long have we been taking other people's plights and disregarding our own. Too many times have we organizations, things have started within our community. And I posted the illustration of the founders, the 6 founders of the NAACP, which consisted of mostly from the other community, the Jewish community as we know them, right? We were the minority, even in the founders of that organization. See, I'm tired of hearing people try to tell us that they were part of our struggle. When you actually do the facts for those that want to say what we should do, like that actress, I can't remember her name, that call herself coming out and expressing those thoughts about our community. Also, Michael Rappaport. And there's others that are pushing this thing that we should be supporting the Jewish community as we know them. But see, they won't tell you that. Guess what? They were on both sides of the coin when it came to our community. Guess what? It was the Democrats at one time that was behaving as the Republicans of today. It was the Democrats that was, part of that that consisted of that Bible Belt, the Confederate, and who helped spearhead that Confederacy. You know who helped that agenda. You know who owned most of those slave ships. You know who was doing running most of those auctions. When you read those posters, you see the names of who's on the bottom of those posters, what community. You could see some of the tragedies that was inflicted on our people, and you want us to choose a side? And guess what? I'm not choosing a side for that or the other side, because if we want to start getting into the Arabic slave trade, come on, we could go into the Arabic slave trade and see what they had done to our people, castrating boys at 4 and 5 years old, in which half of them died from that. Men being castrated, our women being used as what we want to say, a morale booster, being raped, being used as toys for their soldiers, a team building, or build up their morale or let off some steam. Come on, family. Do you know the Arabic slave trade still exists? Have you guys done any research to see how our people are being treated over there? Come on, family. Come on, family. Did y'all just see what I just posted about Malawi? Entered into a secret agreement with the Israelis to supply them. It starts off with 220, but from what I understand, it's over 4,000. Got $60 million. But those young people, are going to be paid $1,000. But out of that $1,000, it has to be covered, their travel expenses, their living arrangements, all those different things have to be included in that expense. So basically sharecropping. So we don't have to take anyone's sides. If we want to look at the KKK, do you know that there was Jewish people all up in the KKK? I mean, we can unpack this thing. We can unpack this thing. Do I need to show some of the hatred that we face, people that look like me over in Israel right now? Come on, family. Want to kick out the Israelites of the Mona that's over there? Look at how they treating the Ethiopian Israelites over there. We don't have to take no one side. You're not going to the Chinese, the Japanese. You're not telling them that they have to take a side. You're not going to the Spanish, but anything but the Negro. See, when I think about that approach from them, it makes me think about back in the day. People are cracking jokes, and shout outs to my buddy Jay Highstyle. He's gonna remember this. Back in the day, you joking and carrying on, right? But then someone is laughing, and that joke is on them, and then all of a sudden they want to look at somebody, see someone that they think is an easy target, and they look over at that person, and say, "I know you ain't laughing." See, that's how they approach us. Everyone can laugh at the joke, but the Negro. Everyone can have a voice and a saying, and to whatever's going on, but the Negro. They approach us like, "I know you're not laughing. I know you're not talking. You should." No, you've been on both sides of the coin of our tragedies. And I'm starting to believe, because of the approach, I'm starting to believe because of how you throwing that in our face, your community is throwing that in our face. I believe it was calculated to try to have these type of days that, hey, we walk with you. Hey, there was a few of us that died with you guys, just so that way you can have us inside the pocket. But most of our brothers and sisters not realizing that, guess what? You help enslave enslaved our people. You help enslave our people. Anyway, come on, family. We don't have to justify. We don't have to take sides. But the side that we're going to take the most high side. We're going to take Yah's side. And we're going to start with our community, start understanding what is the best interest of our community. Come on, family. You see people are getting canceled. You see how they throwing it in our face. They're not canceling everyone else. They're trying to cancel people from within our community for not taking one side or another. There's something special about you, Judah. I'll say it again. There is something special about you, Judah. There's something special about you, Israel, the true Israelites. There's something special about you. They know how special we are. There's something special about us. They know when we speak, guess what? People are going to listen. Come on now. We've been wearing that t-shirt of being oppressed. We've been wearing that t-shirt of being raped. We've been wearing that t-shirt of being mutilated. We've been wearing that t-shirt of being kidnapped. We've been wearing that t-shirt of being enslaved. We've been wearing that t-shirt of gentrification. We've been wearing that t-shirt of genocide. We've been wearing that for centuries upon centuries upon centuries. Come on, family. Being the lowest ones on the totem pole. Come on, family. Come on, family. Come on, family. Let's talk about the Black Holocaust. If we're going to talk about the Holocaust, talk about the Black Holocaust. Talk about what happened to our community and all the players within it. Talk about how Germany literally was combing through to completely wipe out the Negro out of Germany. Let's talk about that. Come on, family. There's something special about you, Judah. And that's why I want to do this quick lesson tonight. There is that thought of there's no chosen people. See, that is people trying to inject confusion among Yah's people. Though, like my grandmother would say back in the day, the devil is a liar. How many of you guys heard that from the old school? The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. Come on, family. I'm going to show you just how special Israel is. I'm going to show you just how special you are, Judah. I'm going to show you because we are the type of people we can make the best out of any situation. We're the only group of people that can turn a cardboard box into an adventure, a cardboard box into something that you could dance off of, a cardboard box, something that you can play hide go seek in, a cardboard box that you can use to slide down the steps. Come on, family. We're the only group of people that can take the worst situation and make the best out of it. Come on now. Come on now. We're the only people that can take the worst, can take the scraps and make a delicacy out of it. We're the only people that you could take that took oxtails and made a delicacy out of oxtail, neck bones. Come on, family. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it, family. Let's get into it, family. Hit the like and subscribe to the channel if you're not. There's no chosen people is what I want to address. And if you haven't heard that before, I'm going to give you something to go off of just in case you do. Just in case you do. There's something special about you, Judah. We're going to make a t-shirt out of that. There's something special about you, Judah. And I'm also going to make some t-shirts. We woke now. Ain't going back. That's right. I'm using that grammar. Ain't never going back. We woke now. Ain't never going back. There's something special about you, Judah. So our thought for today is there's no chosen people. Lie and deception. We want to deal with this lie, and we are going to deal with this deception. So is it true that there's no such thing as a chosen people? Is it true that Yahweh did not choose a certain group of people? Is there any scripture that supports this deceptive logic? So, how do we respond to this question or questions that fall along these lines? I'm going to tell you, family, with scripture. Part of the problem we have to get out of the habit of doing is giving opinions. Let me say that again. We have to get out of this habit or this behavior of giving opinions versus just giving the word. See, I made a lot of people mad. I continue to make people mad because they want to ask me what's my opinion of scripture. And I tell them my opinion matters not. It's all about what the words say. Let's see what the words say. So how are we to respond to this question? Well, guess what? We're going to respond to it with scripture. Let's start with the defining the word chosen from a Hebraic school of thought, right? You see the word here, bakar. It means to try an example, by implication, select, acceptable, appoint, choose. In other words, choice, require. And you see in the sub entry, or excuse me, entry number 1, to choose, elect. Let me say that again. Bakar means to try an example, by implication, select, acceptable, appoint, choose, choice, require, to choose, elect. So let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, starting at verse 1. We're going to shut that down pretty quick, but I'm going to give you plenty of scripture to make notes of and add it to your cheat sheet. This is how you respond to it, to let people know, yeah, we are the chosen people. We are Yah's chosen people. See, we don't have to tell people how much persecution we had to endure, because it's documented. It's properly documented. The number of captivities that we had to endure as a people and still in this captivity. Deuteronomy chapter 7, starting at verse 1. Notice what it says, family. When Yahweh Elohim shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, Girgashites, Amorites, Canaanites, Perizzites, Hivites, Jebusites, right? The Americanites, the Israelites, the Japanese-ites, the Egyptianites, Germanites, the Ashkenaziites. Can we add some more to it? The KKKites, the ADLites. Can we add some more to it? Right? All these different ites that the Most High has cast out. Let me read it again. And hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, Girgashites, Amorites, Canaanites, Perizzites, Hivites, Jebusites, politicianites, right? 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when Yahweh Elohim shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor shew mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of Yahweh be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. Verse 5. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, break down their images, cut down their groves, burn their graven images with fire. Verse 6, for thou art an holy people. Let me say that again. Thou art an holy people. Come on, family. We are a holy people. Quadash. We are a holy people unto Yahweh, thy Elohim. Yahweh thy Elohim hath what? Chosen. Let me say that again. Y'all pay attention to this right here, because we're shutting it down just with this verse alone. Yahweh thy Elohim chosen thee. Let me start it over. For thou art an holy people, Quadash. Thou art a holy people, Quadash Am, unto Yahweh thy Elohim. Yahweh thy Elohim hath chosen Bakar thee to be a special Sagala. I'm saying this from the ancient Hebrew pronunciation. Sagala, people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. There's something special about you, Judah. There's something special about you, Israel. There's something special about Yah's chosen people. Because why? Yahweh thy Elohim hath chosen thee, chosen Bakar thee, us, to be a special people unto who? Himself, above who? Above all people. Now, this is not saying this gives us the right to treat people any kind of way. We're supposed to set the standards. We're supposed to be the standard. The Most High sets the standards, but we're supposed to be the example of that standard He set. All right, but we're not going to stop here. Right, verse 7. Yahweh did not set His love upon you, Ahab, His love upon you, nor chose you, Bakar, because ye were more, Rab or Rabbah, in number than any people. I'm Yam. I'm saying this in ancient Hebrew, Israeli be Amin, right? But I'm Yam, masculine plural. For ye were fewest of all people. Now, let me put this in the proper context. This is not saying that Israel at this time was small in numbers, because by the time in this text, Israel is between 1.5 to 2 million people. What this is referring to is when the Most High called Abraham, when the Most High then transitioned His covenant down to Isaac, and then took that covenant down from Isaac to Jacob, before Israel grew to the multitude that they grew to, that grown to. But it's making it clear, when the Most High chose, it says, Yahweh did not set His love upon you, nor chose you, Bakar, because ye were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people. See, this is going back to Abraham, because by the time we get to the Egyptian captivity, we can vouch for this. In Exodus chapter 1, they made it clear that Israel was more in numbers than the Egyptians, and said that Israel was all scattered throughout Egypt, and they dwell primarily in the land of Goshen. All right. So again, Yahweh did not set His love upon you, nor chose you, because ye were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people. But let's skip over to chapter 14. Deuteronomy chapter 14. Let's start at verse 1. And it says this: Ye are the children of Yahweh. Let me say that again. Come on, Israel. I'm speaking life. Speak life, family. Speak life tonight. Ye are the children of Yahweh, your Elohim. Ye shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. Now, this is getting into satanic rituals. This is getting into things that other cultures do. This is telling us not to put special marks on our forehead with knives and all that other stuff, and not cut our hair a certain way, like you see the Vikings and those guys do, right? But it didn't stop here. Verse 2, for thou art and what? Holy people unto Yahweh. We are a holy people. We're not supposed to do what other people doing. Come on, my brothers and sisters. I know, with everything going on during this time of the year, with all these different holidays that was created by our the very people that have put us in this captivity. I know it can be very hard for some of you when it comes to your loved ones, but guess what? The Most High did not tell you or tell any one of us to try to come up with a, how can I put it, a workaround. He did not tell us to come up with a workaround and try to put your own spin on trying to still celebrate what man has created. No, family. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy Elohim, and Yahweh hath chosen Bakar thee to be a peculiar. Now we get into a peculiar. We're going to define peculiar in a second. Sagala. In the Israeli Segulah, right? Sagala, people unto himself. What's interesting, you see the primitive root here, Gala, right? Anyway, you see Gala, Se Gala, right? Gala. Gullah people, we're chosen. We're Yah's chosen people, but nevertheless, and when we think of Gala, redemption, redeem, reveal, but nevertheless, Yahweh hath chosen Bakar thee to be a peculiar Sagala people unto who? Himself. Not for everyone else, unto himself. Not to be shared, not to have roommates. See, that's part of the problem. We have a roommate mentality. We think that the Most High want to have a roommate dwelling on inside this temple, which is your body. No, the Most High doesn't want roommates. You know what? I'm not sure if you guys had a roommate before, but I remember having a roommate when I was in college. I remember when I had a roommate when I was in the military. And there's something about having a roommate it's just not a comfortable feeling to know that you can sit something down. It's not going to stay that way. It's not going to stay where you left it at, especially when you're dealing with roommates that can be kind of trifling. I had some trifling roommates, man. I had one roommate that was so trifling, and this is where I used to drink Kool-Aid. I had a roommate that was so trifling that he used to, I used to work night shift, when I was, I'm not going to get into the details, but I used to work night shift when I was at the military. So guess what I would do, I'll go to the BX, I come back before I leave to go to work. I hook up some Kool-Aid, the red, y'all know we don't call them cherry and all that. We just call it the colors, the red, I hook it up. He never had Kool-Aid before, my roommate. So I go to work, come back, go to sleep, get up, want to drink me some Kool-Aid. And guess what? He done drank up most of the Kool-Aid. That's right. Sound a little brick city coming out of me, right? Newark, New Jersey coming out of me. He drank up all the Kool-Aid. So I confronted him like, look, man, I don't have a problem with you drinking some, but you're going to contribute to what I'm bringing inside the room. You're going to contribute to the canteen. But guess what? He wouldn't contribute to the canteen, but he was still drinking up my Kool-Aid. So guess what I did? Man, I got this big thing of salt. I got this big thing of salt. I can't remember the brand of it had the girl with the umbrella. I can't remember the name of that salt, but the blue box, with the girl with the umbrella. I can't remember the name of that salt, but I got a big thing of it. Man, guess what I did? Man, I hooked that thing up. I put all that salt inside that Kool-Aid. Instead of putting sugar, I put salt up in there. I just filled it up to the thing with the salt. And I made it a point to make sure that I was in the room and pretended that I was asleep. Yeah, Morton. He came in thinking that I was asleep. He went into that refrigerator. He pulled out that Kool-Aid. And guess what? All of a sudden, I'm hearing him spitting and gagging and everything. And I got up. I said, don't touch my stuff again. See, that's what comes with the territory when you have roommates. You can run that risk that you may have a roommate that's not dependable, that roommate that may, go into things that they shouldn't go into, that may be contradicting everything that you do, be the totally opposite of what you believe. So where I'm going at with this is the Most High don't want roommates. He made it clear he don't share spaces with no one. The Most High made it clear he does not want roommates. Right? So therefore, because the Most High don't want any roommates, we have to make sure that we are not indulging in different things. We're not getting caught up with these different belief systems out there. I don't care about those other belief systems out there. If it's for those cultures, it's for those cultures, but it's not our culture. The Most High don't want to share spaces with Buddha. The Most High don't want to share spaces with Muhammad. The Most High don't want to share spaces with all these different belief systems out there. That's not your heritage. So that's what the Most High is saying here. He says, for thou art an holy people unto Yahweh, thy Elohim. And Yahweh hath chosen Bakar thee to be a peculiar Sagala people unto himself above what? All. Makal. Above all the nations. Above all the nations that are upon this earth. Most High don't want roommates, family. And it tells us in Yahweh, again, just reiterating this point, in Yahweh, which means he exists, hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself. He don't want roommates. The Most High is selfish. He's not sharing us with other cultures. He's not sharing us with other belief systems. He's not sharing us with all these other things that are out there. Now, the Most High don't roll that way, family. So let's see what the word peculiar means, since I mentioned it. Right? In the Israeli, as I said, segula, in the ancient Hebrew is sagala, right? Which means what? Wealth. In other words, as closely shut up. In other words, sealing this thing, protecting this, not making it easily accessible to others. You know, when you have something valuable, you're not trying to make it easily accessible. So jewel. And as you see here, peculiar treasure. Proper good, special. And look at sub-entry A. You see valued property. Let me just go here and highlight here. Right here. This is what I'm highlighting. Sub-entry A of 1 says valued property. Let me zoom it in so that way you guys can see exactly what I was reading here. Valued property, peculiar treasure. All right. So again, wealth, jewel, peculiar, in other words, treasure. Proper good, special. There's something special about you, Judah. There's something special about you, Israel or Yashara'al. Valued property. Make a note of that. When you say, when I say there's something special about you, think about yourself as being valued property. I'm going somewhere with this. So let's go to Exodus chapter 19, starting at verse 3. All right, let's tie this together. Right? This is what it says, starting at verse 3 in chapter 19. And Moses went up unto Elohim, and Yahweh called unto him out of the mountain, saying, thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel. Tell them what? Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bear you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself. Verse 5. Now, therefore, if ye obey, there we go. Now, therefore, if ye obey, right? Shema. What was Shema? Right? Y'all know the song Shema Israel, based off of Deuteronomy chapter 6. If ye will obey, Shema, which means listen with intelligence. It also means discern, and it also means obey. It means obedient. Now, therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep Shamar, execute Shamar, my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. I'm Yam, for all the earth is mine. We got a lot to unpack here, right? We know that we are Yah's chosen people, but do you want to be more than just Yah's chosen people? See, you could be in a state of rebellion and still be Yah's chosen people. See, you can be an Israelite in rebellion, a spirit of rebellion, and you just are labeled a rebellious Israelite. right? King Saul was a rebellious king. But guess what? He was still an Israelite. What is special about us outside of just saying that, hey, we're the chosen people? Are you that peculiar treasure? Are you that peculiar treasure? I know I'm I got to explain this. I know some of you guys like, wait a minute. Yes, family, we can be Yah's chosen people, but are you living like the other nations? Are you doing the things like the other nations? Is there something special about you when you're around other people? Or do you blend in and just do what everyone else is doing? See, it's one thing to be chosen, but it's another thing to be peculiar, his peculiar treasure. We already know that we are his chosen people, but what does it mean to be his peculiar treasure? I gave you that information there. I just shared it with you, but let me go ahead and elaborate on this a little bit more. Now, therefore, if ye obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure. So we already his chosen people, but there is a set of requirements that he's laying out here in order to be what? That peculiar treasure. Unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. Now, I highlighted a couple of things here, right? You see the word if and you see then. From a technology perspective, from a programmable perspective, because I used to be a programmer, code and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? Writing scripts, I done wrote script, you name it, I've done it. So this is for you guys. If some of you geeks out there understand where I'm going at with this, conditional statements. If then is what is called is part of a conditional statement. So when you see if equates to true, right? Then you'll be able to go beyond, or you'll get a certain response if your input is true. And I'll explain that here in a second. So you see if and you see then. Those are conditional statements. And if, then, else, right? And with this if, you can have and filled in between. So we see a conditional statement. If ye obey my voice indeed and keep what? My covenant. What is the covenant? The 10 commandments. You can confirm this with Exodus chapter 34. Then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. So again, conditional statement. If, that's why I highlighted if, ye will obey my voice. Then I put and, because and is still a continuation between that if and that then, because you could put multiple things within that and, that requirements or things that need to be true about your input. So if and then. So if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure. So let me make this plain to you guys, right? When we start dealing with conditional statements. See, guys, you deal with conditional statements every day, right? Let's just think about your ATM card, right? Your ATM card, just to use your ATM card, you have to have conditions that comes along with it. You have money in the bank, but regardless, if you want to access that account, you have to meet a set of requirements. So if you have the right card, because you can't use your driver's license to try to put into an ATM. If you have the right card, you put it inside the ATM. If you punch in your PIN, right? If you have the right card, if you punch in the correct PIN, right? So if you punch in the correct, have the right card, you enter the right PIN, right? Then you can have full access to your account. That is a conditional statement. If and then, but primarily we focus on if then. So if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure. So if you have that right ATM card, if you have the right ATM card and you punch in the correct PIN, then you can access your account. That is what is called a conditional statement. You deal with that every day, but you just don't, you just don't recognize it till now that I'm bringing it to your attention. So what is a conditional statement? I explained it to you, but let me just give you some technical jargon here. All right. So if, then, else, that's how you close out the statement. But anyway, if, then, else, right? Conditional statements executes a group of statements depending on the value of an expression. So if would normally equates to true, then a certain output would happen. Else represents false. Then you close it out. What was that? End if or whatever. But anyway, if, then, else. If equates to true, then results, else false. All right. So conditionally executes a group of statements depending on the value of an expression. Right. So we break this thing down, like as I pointed here, must evaluate to true or false. So when you see if, that's going to what? The expressions, if the expression evaluate, to true, then you get a certain response. False, you get a certain response. All right. So if the expression is a nullable, in other words, no value, guess what? That variable evaluates to nothing. The condition is treated as if the expression is false. So this is similar to what we see with the scripture. Hot or cold, right? But lukewarm, I spew you out, right? Lukewarm is still defaulting to what? Cold, right? Many think that if they stay in that gray area, it automatically going to still default to true. No, the Most High is saying, hey, you lukewarm, I'm still going to treat you as if you're no. I'm still going to treat you as if you said no. So null has no value. Actually, in the technology world, if you guys know this, zeros still have value. It still occupies space. Null has no value. Right? So again, the condition is treated as if the expression is false. And if it says, and the else if blocks are evaluated if they exist. So that's getting into another thing that we're dealing with. I'm not going to get into all of that. So nevertheless, it says here, one or more statements following if, then, that are executed if what? Conditions evaluates to true. All right. So let's put this into practice. All right. Let's put this into practice. Let me fix this slide real quick. Let me fix this slide because this is where I forgot to take away the transition. Let me fix this transition. All right. So we're going to deal with this conditional statement. All right. We're almost there. It's not a long lesson. This is a very simple lesson, believe it or not. All right. Let me correct one more area of the slide. All right. All right. Let me see. I think that's, yeah. Let me correct this slide too, because I don't like how my slide was transitioning with that. I try not to do too much animations here. All right, that one more, and then we'll get back into it. All right, there we go. All right, so 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. Let's break this down real quick. Let's walk this out. Let's see how this conditional statement works, with what I just shared with you in the previous slide. Let's put it to practice. So this is 2 Chronicles chapter 7, starting at verse 14. It says, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Now, see, we see a conditional statement here. We see the if and we see the then. Of course, we have and we have three ends here. If my people, which are called by my name, right? We see the parameters. We see now we're seeing the inputs that we need here. The Most High said, I need these inputs in order to get to what? This portion of the output, which will be, will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and will heal their lands. But there's a set of conditions that we have to meet. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves, pray, seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then, see, the problem is many of us don't understand. We have to do all of these things simultaneously and continuously. See, some will say, hey, I'm humble, but you don't pray. You pray, but you're not really seeking his face. Or you seeking his face, but you don't want to turn from your wicked ways. And you wondering why you're not getting the output, right, that you should get. Why? Because you're not doing all the requirements simultaneously at the same time. So if my people, which are called by my name, here it is, shall humble themselves. And while you're humbling yourselves, you have to continue to pray, not just stop right there, because we have to pray without ceasing, right? But we also, in our prayers, we have to be what? Seeking Yah's face, not our flesh, right? And we have to what? Turn from our wicked ways. Then, notice what we say, then. This is the expected output. This is what we're going to receive out of this. Then will I hear from heaven. But the Most High said, I'm not just going to hear you, but I'm going to respond. I'm going to respond to what I hear, right? Then will I hear from heaven. And this is how you're going to respond. And will forgive their sins. But he's not going to stop there. And will heal their land. Come on, family. Can't make it any plainer than that. Those are conditional statements. So you could be chosen, but are you really going to be that peculiar treasure, that set apart, that remnant? Are you going to be the remnant? You could be Israel, you could be chosen, but are you going to be that peculiar treasure? All right, let's highlight this here. You see if and you see then. Those conditional statements inside this particular verse. So Isaiah, the prophet, confirms Israel is Yah's heritage. That's right. Watch this. Isaiah is going to tell us that Israel is Yah's heritage, Yah's inheritance. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 19, starting at verse 25. Notice what it says here. Whom Yahweh of hosts shall bless, saying, blessed be Egypt, my people, and Assyria, the work of my hands, and Israel, mine inheritance. Now, don't get bent out of shape here. But yes, there are people from Egypt, other nations. There's see here, Assyria. There are people within those communities that are going to what? Denounce their culture, their deities, and follow the Most High. See, if you study Zechariah, you'll see that guess what? All the nations is going to have to participate. What those remnant that accept the Most High going to have to what? They're going to be required to participate in the holy, the tabernacle above all tabernacles. Now, I didn't put the scriptures in here, but the key is you'll have Egyptians giving their life to the Most High. You'll see Assyrians giving their life to the Most High, but guess what? There's still a distinction. They are not the chosen people. They are not. Notice what it says here. And Israel, mine inheritance. Come on, family. That's something about being called the inheritance of the Most High. Nakala is the Hebrew word that you see on your screen. What does it mean to be the inheritance? What is inheritance? Let's see what it says here. Let's go to the Hebrew dictionary definition of inheritance. Notice what it says here. An estate, portion, heritage. Wait a minute. So Israel, Yah's chosen people, that peculiar treasure, right? That remnant. Wait a minute. We see his heritage. We see inheritance, possession, but let's see what heritage means, right? Because inheritance is synonymous to with the word heritage. So what is heritage? Let's define this with the Oxford Dictionary. Heritage, valued what? Objects. So when you study Genesis chapter 10, Israel, well, not just Israel, but all of Noah's sons had valued objects, right? Land, family, tongues, which are the pillars to being what? Constituting what constitutes a nation. Those are what? Altogether, land, family, tongues, and what nation, those are valued objects. That is what a heritage is. So the Most High is saying that Israel, guess what? Not only we're not just chosen, but man, guess what? We be his peculiar people, and we're going to get there. We're going to get where he wants us to get to, because guess what? He's coming back for what? Israel without spot or blemish, right? Israel will be made whole. Hayah, right? So nevertheless, valued objects. So guess what? We are his valued objects, family. Let me break this down more. So heritage is valued objects. Wait a minute. Heritage is valued objects. Israel, Judah, there's something special about you. Guess what? If you are following the law, statutes, and commandments, guess what? You are Yah's peculiar people. You are what? Peculiar. Well, let me tie this in, because I said value objects. So let's see what peculiar mean again. Let's go back to peculiar. Remember this? Notice what this says: wealth, jewel, peculiar, treasure, proper, good, special. But notice here, valued property. In other words, valued objects. Come on, family. That's what being peculiar is, that you are now what? Yah's valued objects, that you are Yah's most treasurable. You're the tithe, you're the 10th, you're the sha'ar, you're the remnant, you're the surviving portion. You are what's left behind. You are what's keeping the whole, the 90% intact. Come on, family. Come on, family. Come on, family. Every time you look in the mirror, you say there's something special about me. I am Yah's valued property. I am Yah's valued object. I'm honoring the law, statutes, and commandments. I'm keeping the feast days. Guess what? There's something special about me. I don't care what the Zionists are saying. I don't care what those are, the pro-Palestinian people are saying. I don't care what the people up in the church saying, the apologists. I don't care what anyone's saying. I am Yah's valued property. I am Yah's valued object. I am Yah's inheritance. I am Yah's heritage. I am the surviving portion. I am that remnant. Come on, family. I am the left behind. I am the Most High's redundancy to make sure Israel remains. Come on, family. You are that peculiar treasure. If you honor the law, statutes, and commandments, guess what? You are that valued property. You are that valued object. Don't let anyone taint you. See, that's what Hasatan wants to do. Hasatan wants you to what? Disobey the law, statutes, and commandments. So now you become what? Tainted. We're not going to stop right here. We're almost done, family. We're almost done. Not trying to preach here, but we're almost done. So Israel is not only chosen, but Yahweh spoke to no other nation. Let me say that something. Let me say this to you, family. Yah, he did not speak to no other nation. No other nation. He did not give this word to any other nation. That's why you had problems with nations trying to what? Teach the word, including those that other Israel, that other Israel, that Israeli that we see today. That's why they had to create their own Torah, which they call the Talmud, that anti-Torah. That's why they had to create that for them. Because they know that this Torah, the true Torah, is not theirs. They had to what? Come up with their own version of it. That's why you see the key things within their Talmud, like the Messiah. That's why they talk about our Messiah being in hell, boiling and burning in dung. That's what they say about our Messiah. They call our Messiah Baal. They call our Messiah a worker of iniquity. They call our Messiah, they literally defecate on our Messiah. Why? Because they know that this is not their heritage. See, it's a difference when you purchase that car versus someone trying to take over your car or borrowing your car. They're not going to treat the car the same way as you do when someone borrows your car versus you're the one that's making that payment. They're not going to take care of it like you. Come on, family. See, that's the trick. The trick is trying to get you to forfeit something that already belonged to you. See, that's what this whole deception is right here. This is what this deception right here, trying to get our people to forfeit what you already have, trying to make you convert to something that's already yours.
You know what you are? You're an ancient Israelite.
Ancient Israel, that's who we are. That's who we are. So if you give me time, if you give me time,
but
all that he said,
no, we don't have
so many years.
I know. Look at this. This is pages and pages of notes, and I promise we'll give more teaching. But here is my challenge to you.
All right.
I'm hearing some of your traditions. It's like the days of the Bible.
Yes.
Do you want to remain ancient Israelites, or you want to be Jews? Do you want to remain ancient Israelites, or you want to be Jews? Do you want to remain ancient Israelites?
See, family, that's what would happen. See, that's what not that's what would happen. That's what others want to do. They want us to convert. See, Christianity, Catholicism has a conversion process. They put our ancestors through a conversion process to make it so that way we denounce honoring the Shabbat, honoring the law, statutes, and commandments, the culture, and embrace what they have taken and warped and tainted and made it into something else. And the same thing with Judaism. These religious systems, including Islam, all of them has taken our culture, made it into something of what they want it to be, just so that way it's comfortable for them. That's not our culture. That's not the true Torah. That's not the true law, statutes, and commandments. That's not the true writings of the law and the prophets, along with the testimonies of the disciples. That's not our heritage. See, this is our culture. They created a religion off of our culture. Being an Israelite is not a religion, it's a culture. Come on, family. So Israel is we're not only chosen, but Yahweh spoke to I gotta fix this, spoke to no other nation like he did with Israel. Let me correct this here. Let me correct this real quick. Excuse the typo. All right, let me correct this here. Spoke to no other nation. And I'm going to prove that here. All right, there we go. Just had to correct this slide here. But Yah spoke to no other nation but Israel. Let's prove this. Romans chapter 3, starting at verse, actually, we're going to highlight verse 2, but we're going to start at verse 1, right? This is Apostle Paul. What advantage then hath Judah, or what profit is there of circumcision? But here's the kicker that I really want to point on, really hone in on. I'm not dealing with circumcision right now, but this is what I want to hone in on, right? Right? Even though circumcision is part of how to confirm the covenant, right? But let's deal with verse 2. Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of Yahweh. Unto who? It says them. Who's the them? That's you and I. That's Israel. That's Jacob, the descendants of Jacob. That's it, you, Israel. That's you. Apostle Paul is making it clear that the oracles, in other words, Yah's commandments, Yah's word came to who? It came to the Israelites. That's what makes us special. Paul is making it clear the Most High didn't give this to the other nations. He didn't give this to what many would use the term Gentile. He gave this to who? The Israelites. Why don't we hear this inside the temple? Or in the churches? No, Paul is making it clear that the Most High gave this to Israel. He gave his word to who? He gave it to you, Judah. There's something special about you, Judah. There's something special about you, Israel. Come on, family. Yashara'al. There's something special about you. Yahweh. There's something special about you. Yashara'al. I'll say it that way. But guess what? Let's continue here. Let's confirm this. Let's confirm this with Psalms 147, book of Psalms, starting at verse 19. Notice what it says. He sheweth his word unto who? Jacob. Didn't Paul just say this? He gave his oracles to who? Right? He sheweth his words unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He has not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. Oh, come on, family. Y'all should be celebrating right now. There's something special about you, Judah. Can't nobody sing like you, Judah. Can't nobody worship like you, Judah. Can't nobody praise like you, Judah. Not a single nation outside of us have the revelation like we have it, because the Most High did not reveal his revelation to no one else but Judah, but Israel, but the seeds of Jacob. That's why we are a kingdom of priests. That's why we are the light unto the other nations that want to learn this. Oh, come on, man. They had to put a special entry under the word gospel. Look it up. They put a special entry in the word gospel for our community. Come on, family, look it up. Because there's something special about us. They have to hijack even our bad habits. All right. So let me read this one more time. We're wrapping this up. He sheweth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. Guess what? See, when people don't, for the nations that have not known the Most High, see, this is where you start seeing this type of behavior. Let me show you some of this real quick. This is the type of behavior that you will see from those nations that the Most High did not speak to. This is what you will see.
And you know what else, Jim? I just want to say this to our Christian friends, you know, just to call it as it is and say it straight out, you know, you guys are worshiping one Jew. That's a mistake. You should be worshiping every single one of us, because we all die for your sins every single day. And that's exactly what's going on here. Yeah. We're all God's firstborn, and we're dying for your sins right now because the Jewish people in the land of Israel are the bulwark against the orcs. Okay?
See, apparently that rabbi don't know Torah. That rabbi don't know the words of the prophets, because in Isaiah 53, it makes it clear there's only one that the Most High is sending to die for the sins, to be that sacrifice for the sins of his people. Didn't say he was sending all of Israel to die and sacrifice for all the nations. No, it was only one that was selected. And that's our Messiah. See, they're waiting for them. They're waiting for their version of what they think is going to come, their Messiah to come. See, when you really start studying Judaism and you start studying the Rabbi, right? The Rabbi call itself ordaining Netanyahu, saying that he's going to usher in the Messiah and all that other stuff. See, when you understand the scriptures, when you truly are the people of the Most High, and you're honoring his laws, statutes, and commandments according to the spirit of Yahweh, guess what? You're not going to be indulging in no foolishness like that. You're not even going to indulge in some of the foolishness we see among this awakening. We got to be real. There's a lot of foolishness that is going on among this awakening. And guess what? Those people that's pushing this foolishness, they don't know Yah. They don't know Yah. They under a delusion. They are under a deception, family. That's why, guess what? The elect, Yah's people is going to scarcely make it. We're going to barely make it, family. Come on, family. Anyway, let's wrap this up. So he has not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. So of all the nations on the earth, Yahweh chose Israel. He chose Yashara'al. He chose us to be the recipient of his word and to carry it to the nations. So why was Israel chosen? I gave you the answer, but we're going to wrap up with this. Why was Israel chosen? Well, let's go to Isaiah chapter 42, starting at verse 5. Right? This is dealing with Israel. This is not dealing with Christianity. This is not dealing with Catholicism. This is not dealing with Judaism. This is not dealing with Islam. This is dealing with a specific group of people, the blood descendants of Israel, Yashara'al. It says, thus saith Elohim Yahweh, he that created the heavens and stretched them out, he that spread forth the earth and that which cometh out of it, he that giveth breath unto the people upon it, and it says here, and spirit to them that walk therein. Right? Notice this here, verse 6. I, Yahweh, have called thee in righteousness and will hold thine hand. This is his people. This is not dealing with the church. This is not dealing with the church. This is dealing with the called out assembly of witnesses, the Israelites. This is not dealing with a church. This is dealing with the people of Yah, which is the Israelites. I, Yahweh, have called thee in righteousness and will hold thine hand and will keep thee and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the for a light of, you see, of the Gentiles, but the light of other nations is what it really means. Not just Gentiles, no, other nations. All right. So out of his immeasurable love and unfathomable grace, Yahweh chose the house of Jacob for himself, family. There's something special about us. Chosen. He chose the house of Jacob for himself. Bakar, for himself. So we're going to wrap up with this last verse here, this last set of passages here. The 135th book of Psalms, starting at verse 1. Man, I'm just excited, man. I get excited off of just teaching the word. Praise, halala, as you see here, halala wa, ye, yah, right? Praise ye yah, right? That's the proper translation here. This is where you get the word hallelujah. In the ancient Hebrew, halala wa yah. Some would just break it up by saying halala yah, right? But in ancient Hebrew, guess what? You'll pronounce that that Y as well. So praise ye Yahweh. Halala wa Yah. Let me say that again. Halala wa Yah. Praise ye Yah. Praise halala wa ye, the name Hashem of Yahweh. Right? Now you see the short form of his name and you see the his full name. So when hallelujah is actually a phrase, praise ye Yah, praise halal, or right, halal or halala, ye wa Yah, praise halala, ye wa, the name of Yahweh, praise him, O ye servants, abad, O ye servants of Yahweh, ye that stand in the house of Yahweh, in the court of the house of our Elohim. Notice this here. Praise Yah, for Yahweh is good, singing praises unto his name, for it is pleasant. For Yahweh hath chosen Jacob, Ya'aquab, unto who? Himself, and Israel, Yashara'al, for his what? Peculiar treasure. And we see that word again, sagala, sagala. In other words, his valued object, his valued possession, his valued object, which means heritage, his inheritance, his valued property, his valued objects, his inheritance. There's something special about you, Judah. And family, that's it right there. That's all I wanted to, the message that I wanted to get to you guys tonight. I want to just kind of give you a words of encouragement, because there's a lot of crazy stuff that is circulating out here that is tripping Yah's people up. The purpose of that is to have us get so worn out that we forfeit who we are. We forfeit our benefits package. We forfeit the benefits of being his chosen, not just his chosen people, but being his what? Valued objects, his valued treasure, his valued property, the heritage of Yah. So family, with that being said, let me give a couple of shout outs here because I see a couple of contributions tonight. So let me give some shout outs here. I want to say thank you, Carla Kimmons. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate the super sticker that you posted. So family, let's show some love for Carla Kimmons. And also let's show some love for Dee Dee. Teach Pastor Kelly. We have to keep Yah's covenant. Absolutely. And thank you for the love and support, Sister Dee Dee, and also Carla Kimmons. And family, let's show some love to our brothers and sisters. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and post this real quick for those that may not like to do the super chats, but let me just post real quick the Cash App for those that may want to contribute via Cash App. And it doesn't matter. Hey, I think whatever you guys contribute, I'm good. Even if you just click the like button, that's good. That's good for me. Whatever the Most High put on your heart, that's fine. I don't do this for the money. I don't do this for any of those things, because when it's all said and done, I want to stand before the Father and he say, well done, my good and faithful servant. So let me go ahead and put this inside the comment section right now. And family, I didn't forget you guys. I know I'm behind on my email because things have been very hectic. So you guys that sent me emails, you are going to get an email for our Bible study that I'm going to extend to those that want to connect to Passion for Reconciliation. Let's see. Let me put the Cash App here. All right, so that's the Cash App. Yeah, things have been very hectic for me, family, so I'm behind on my email, but I'm working on it to get caught up. Let me pin that in. All right, family, really appreciate it. Thank you guys for, again, the contributions tonight. I don't take it lightly. And again, if you have not subscribed to the channel, hit that like and subscribe to the channel. I think I saw that we had at one time almost 600 people in the chat. So family, right now, I think we're sitting at 286. Let's hit those like buttons. Let's get that number beyond 300. We should be easily at 400 likes. Let's get beyond that. It doesn't cost you anything to click that like button. So click that thumbs up. And if you don't like it, click the thumbs down. But still, hit one of the thumbs, right? Let's show some love. It doesn't cost anything. But I really appreciate you guys. Hope this blesses you. Hope this has given you kind of like that hump day charge to make it through the rest of the week. So with that being said, in the words of the Most High, Yahweh, in the words of Yahweh in Exodus chapter 14, starting at verse 13 and 14, the Most High had to give Moses these encouraging words to give to the children of Israel, because they were at what seemed to be a dead end, and they needed encouragement. They needed encouragement to move forward. The Egyptians were behind them. The water was in front of them, and they needed encouragement. So this is what he shared with them. He said, "Fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of Yahweh." These Egyptians that you see here today, they will not have power over you ever again. The Most High will fight for you. But here's the kicker, family. You have to hold your peace. And the Hebrew word that's there is not shalom. Some of you may say shalom. It's not shalom, but the word that is actually there is charash, which means be quiet. Can't go back, can't stay here. And guess what, family? Keep moving forward. Shalom.
Listen, Genesis chapter 11, verse 10 explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. If you repeat this back, Genesis 14, verse 13, Abraham steps on the scene. Being a descendant of Shem, which is a fact, means Abraham too was black. Abraham, born in the city of a black man, called Nimrod, grandson of Ham. Ham had 4 sons. One was named Canaan. Here, let me do some explaining. Abraham, Isaac was Jacob had 12 sons, for real, and these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis chapter 10, these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis chapter 10.